I'm Reen Schwarzer, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast. Microphones, activate.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick Lynn. Joining me today, as always, is Taylor Hoyt.
Hello.
And Shadow could not make it because he has HP MP podcast, but don't worry, he'll be here. It's just some podcasts he will not be able to make it because we are going weekly again, guys.
Golf clap it up.
Golf clap it up. I bet you guys can't hear that dog barking. Can you hear that dog barking, Taylor?
Nope.
Yep. There's a dog barking right now, so. But
Nick's got that super cool RTX sound muffler thing.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. It is really
I know, it's amazing. I saw that guy with the leaf blower. It's like literally right up against the mic and you can't even hear it. I'm like, that is just pure magic. I don't know how they do it.
I think it's looking for your voice, like, I don't know, like sound waves that, because when you start talking, you're gonna hear it. But you're gonna kind of hear it. You'll still hear it, but I don't know. It's magic. Technology is magic. But yeah, we're gonna be going weekly. That means that's probably the episodes are gonna be a little shorter because we're not gonna be having so much to talk about. But hey, weekly content now.
It's good. It's good.
Back to the good old days of podcasting. Just so we could have a schedule, you know. Because I noticed that we keep having these breaks, and it's just because we can't get everyone's schedule together. So if we make a set time, everyone could set that time aside. So it's good.
Exactly.
It's all because of Taylor. Taylor gave me this idea.
Did I? Okay. Well, you're welcome.
So let's get on to it. If you guys did not know or read on our social media and Discord, we did record a podcast like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So we didn't make an episode, and it was an awesome episode. It was so much fun. And the quality or the audio quality was not there. I sounded great. Taylor and Shadow, for some reason, did not sound. It was ineligible. Was not good. You couldn't hear them at all. Sounded like they were in a deep hole. So we couldn't use it.
That is unfortunate. Yeah, hopefully that won't happen again. We tested, so hopefully it didn't work.
Hopefully it did work. But yeah, so let's talk about some stuff that was some news that was announced. I'm tired, so it might be a little rambly.
Me too. I didn't sleep all that much, and I've been editing videos all day, so I apologize. And I haven't really eaten much either. So
you need to get on the eating. But yeah, I haven't slept. I didn't sleep last night, but I did take a nap. Took about a 3-hour nap. That's good. First part of news: Fate Tactics is launching July 31st for PC, not for the consoles, for PC. I know Taylor has been looking really forward to this game. Can you explain why?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a pixel art strategy RPG. So it's like, I don't know. You know how much we've talked about how much we love Final Fantasy Tactics, and this looks like it's pretty inspired by it. Art looks really good. They've been teasing it for a couple of years now, and it's nice to finally have a release date. Only on PC, but it is coming to Switch, I think.
Yeah, the other versions they don't have release dates yet, but the PC version's releasing July 31st.
It's like anything else. If it sells enough, then they'll put it everywhere. So guys, buy the game. If you like strategy RPGs, buy it. Even if you don't, buy it anyway. So it looks really, really cool. I'm excited. I'm going to make a video on it for sure. And what's your thoughts, Nick? Have you seen the gameplay? Have you checked it out?
I remember seeing one of the first trailers that you showed me. You're like, oh, this game looks awesome. You should check it out. But I haven't looked at anything else since. Is it actually like Tactics where everyone's turn is based on the speed stat and not like Fire Emblem, or not like every other strategy RPG where it's like move your entire team first and then they'll move their entire team and then you move their entire team. I for some reason that I hate that. I don't know why. It just does. I don't like it. I love it when it depends on the character's speed.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like Tactics does that, and Final Fantasy Tactics does that, and Tactics Ogre does that.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. If I remember the trailer right, I think there's a bar at the top that shows who goes next, and I think it might be just whoever's fastest. I don't think it's your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. But again, I don't know, so don't quote me on that. But
Right.
yeah,
If it is, then good. It's good.
yeah.
It's good. So yeah, might be checking it out. I mean, I have a vacancy in my JRPG-ness right now because I finished Zero no Kiseki. So
I'm excited to hear what you think about that.
and you'll learn about that later on in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing, Atelier Ryza 2, Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy, rated in Australia. So I guess that just confirms that there's a sequel to this game, to Atelier Ryza.
Yeah. Well, what I find interesting is that it's a direct sequel because for the last like decade plus, all the Atelier games have been like trilogies. Like they'll keep the same characters for 3 games in a row, but it won't be the same main character, and it is definitely not a numbered sequel. But I'm guessing they did that because Ryza sold so well. It's probably far and away the best-selling game in the series. I think it's like 400,000 copies or something like that.
You worded that correctly. Ryza sold well. Her alone.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why they're making a sequel, because the protagonist is a money grabber.
Hey, if it works, I mean, got to do what works. Got to follow the money.
You played it, right?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. It's
you didn't beat it.
No, I didn't. I kind of got bored with it. I feel like I liked it when they were a little bit more simple. I really liked Verona because all it was you get tasks, you go out, and then you make stuff, rinse and repeat. That's all it is. But now they're just like JRPGs that happen to have alchemy. But before it was all about alchemy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So that means that I'll like it. Probably. So either you're gonna send me yours in the mail, or I'm gonna buy it right now. What should I do?
Well, I have it digitally, so you probably have to buy it.
Damn it!
Right. I won it in a giveaway, so that's the only reason I have it.
Oh, speaking of giveaways, how was your giveaway?
It was good. I got a lot of followers, which was kind of the hope. And yeah, it went good. The video that it paired with did not do super great, but I was kind of expecting that.
Was it like a fan service video?
I mean, kind of. It was ranking all the different DLC costumes, and that wasn't necessarily fan service because a lot of the costumes aren't like the swimsuit. There's like costumes where they wear outfits from like past games, and then there's one where it's like all stage plays, like the main character is dressed up as Phantom of the Opera, and one is like Little Red Riding Hood, etc. So, but still, I was kind of expecting that, but to be able to give some games away to the audience was really cool. And hopefully I could do more stuff like that in the future. It was fun. It was fun to especially get the word out because I love Sakura Wars so much, and it was cool to get get people talking about it.
What did you have to do to enter?
From my giveaway?
Yeah.
I think it was literally just follow me, retweet it, and reply with hashtag Sakura Wars, and that was it.
Because I was like, maybe I should try it because I want a free copy of Sakura Wars, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. That'll look weird.
Yeah, if you won, yeah, that'd be weird. But I mean, I did it at random, so I mean, you would have had a chance. It's not like I handpicked the people that won. I didn't follow me before the giveaway, as far as I know, because most of the regulars I kind of recognize on Twitter, but these were new people. Mm-hmm. And that was my other thing too. I was like, hey, I know you're probably going to unfollow me after this thing's over, but definitely, maybe think about sticking around because I make cool JRPG stuff and retweet art. So I lost, maybe like 20 followers since, but otherwise most people stuck around. So we'll see how that goes.
See how it goes. You're doing the Abe strategy where you just freaking sell hacked Pokemon stuff and get followers, you know?
There you go. Follow me and I'll give you free Pokemans.
Well, that's pretty much been it. I mean, that was it for news. Very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not every week's gonna be loaded with crazy stuff.
I just think this month has been very slow. It hasn't been much stuff.
There's a rumor going around that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct this coming week, especially because, Atelier Ryza 2 leaked. So I'm wondering if that was supposed to be announced at that Direct. I don't know that for sure. I'm just trying to put the two and two together.
Was the actual Direct, or was it what's it called? The Treehouse thing?
That I don't know. It's just some Nintendo thing. I don't know. I would say Direct only because Ryza goes on everything. It's not a Nintendo exclusive, which usually Treehouse stuff is usually only exclusives or like really big third-party games. Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for them to show Rune Factory 5. Where is it?
I know. Well, now that so Story of Seasons remake is out, the Rune Factory 4 special is out. I figured they would have said something by now. Maybe TGS. TGS is coming up, so maybe if they do a digital thing for that, they might show something there.
Or we're gonna have our very own Shin Megami Tensei 5 situation where they said that they're making it and they're not gonna make it for the next 5 years or show nothing about it. And
I mean, they literally had a logo. That's all they had for Rune Factory 5 and some silhouettes of characters. I wouldn't be shocked if when they announced it, they were like just starting.
Yeah, they had like another teaser where they showed like animal art and like concept art. And then silhouettes.
Oh, that's right.
And then silhouettes of the main characters. So I was like, okay, whatever.
In due time, my friend. I mean, I hope they step their game up art wise, because obviously Rune Factory 4 is a 3DS game. So hopefully, it can look closer to Tides of Destiny. I think looked really good. It was a PS3 game. So hopefully it gets closer to at least that, fidelity and style.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like a cheap.
It has to
3DS game.
Yeah, it has to be because it's a Switch game. So hopefully the proportions of the characters are good.
Yeah.
But they just need to stick with the same gameplay flow though. It's Harvest Moon plus dungeon crawling.
Yeah, it's a good formula.
Yeah. Speaking of Harvest Moon, let's talk about what we've been playing. What have you been playing, Taylor?
Mainly Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. Put up my review this last week and it's doing really well. I was really surprised to see how many views it got. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm almost on the fall of my second year. And it's
that's pretty good. Because usually you're done by the first year. Not you in general, just the people in general.
Sure. Well, so the thing that's interesting is, and I never played the GBA version, so I'm basing all my thoughts on the PS1, Back to Nature. Because they're kind of the same game. They're pretty much the same game. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting, there's no time limit from the PS1 version. There was like you had a 3-year time limit. Not that you'll miss that because you won't miss it. But there is no time limit now. It's just you just do what you want, however long you want to do it, which is cool. And then I think some of the stuff in my video, I mentioned a few new things, and I'm getting some comments saying that they were things that weren't necessarily new, but they were in Friends of Mineral Town. So, for example, like remember I told you about the you ring the bell and they'll come outside and get their own food, and then they'll go back inside at 8 o'clock, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was saying that was in the GBA version, but I never played that.
I don't remember.
You did, right?
And I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
Maybe they had I remember a bell, like you ring a bell and they come to you.
That was for the cow or something.
It's like an item. Yeah, I don't remember that, but I mean, I have it. It's right over there. I could see if there is one. But
not now. Don't boot the game up now. But
I'm just saying I could check it out and see.
Sure. But yeah, a lot of quality of life updates like that. Easy to swap out tools and items. I will say that I think they really missed the mark on the events. The events feel really, really low effort to me.
Which ones?
So I think, for example, like the fireworks festival, normally if you have any girl at like Purple Heart, you can watch the fireworks together and maybe even have a few conversations. Literally, it's just like you talk to everybody like, I'm excited for the thing, and then it just cuts to the sky and there's fireworks and then it's over. I'm like, that's super lame. There's no, again, this is Friends of Mineral Town, not Back to Nature, but there's no tomato festival like where you throw the tomatoes. I thought that was always fun, like the little food fight. There's no swimming festival. But I think, yeah, I don't know. And then I don't know how to get the blue feather because I have one of the girls at Red Heart, but I don't know how to get the blue feather. It's not in the store. I keep going to her house. I keep going to the store. It won't show up. So I don't know what I have to do. I don't know. And I have the big bed. I have all the house upgrades. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I think I don't know if this is it and that's how you do it, but have you ever made an accessory for a girl in the workshop?
I did. Yeah. I made it was either earrings or a brooch or something like that. I got the orichalcum.
Oh yeah. So that wasn't it.
No. Yeah. And somebody said like, oh, it'll just show up one day. Like you have to keep doing heart events, but I don't know. I keep doing it and I don't see it. So I don't know what I'm missing.
That's weird. I remember it just it was just like it just pop up after you get like everything you need to do.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's strange. And then so the girl I picked they renamed her Ran instead of Anne. I don't know why they renamed her.
Yeah.
But
no, there's some characters that are renamed. I think it's just because it's a different translation. It's more close to Japanese, I guess.
Japanese, like an Aerith type of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I like her character, but I almost like her character better in Back to Nature, where she's sort of like a quirky tomboy type of character. But she's still fun in this one. I feel like I wanted to go for Marie, but she's just so boring. I went for Emily in all my past playthroughs, so I ignored her. Karen is a terrible cook and a drunk, so I never go with her. And then Potpourri is sort of like an immature little girl, so I thought that was weird. And then the new girl, Jennifer, is like this hippie flower child that lives in a tent on the mountain. So I'm like, nope. So it was almost process of elimination as opposed to winning me over.
You got to go with the nurse. I always went with the nurse.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Emily, that's the nurse. Yeah, I always went with her, but I wanted to try somebody different.
How to get the preserved flower in Story of Seasons. The preserved flower is an item needed that proposed to a villager. To obtain the preserved flower, you must trigger a candidate's Blue Heart event. After that, one day when you exit your house from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on a sunny day that is not Tuesday or Sunday, an event with Jeff will trigger. He'll give you a preserved flower and you'll be able to buy more from the general store.
So I have that. I have the preserved flower. That is like asking them out, but not like marrying them. So I gave her that. And so we're like boyfriend and girlfriend now, but not, but still can't. The blue flower, I think, is like the marriage thing. And I don't have.
It doesn't say there doesn't say there's a blue flower. It says after all previous requirements have been met, all that's left to do is to present the preserved flower to the candidate and propose.
Well, I did that. So I don't know what I'm missing something clearly.
Yeah. I don't know.
I even bought another one and gave it to her, and she's like, "Oh, that's a nice flower." And I'm like, "Okay, what?" I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing. But have you? I know you got it. Have you played it at all?
Yeah, I played a little bit. I had to get back into the flow of things. Every time I play, I'm like, I really want to play, but I can't because I need to do stuff.
Yeah.
So I need to. I think tonight, after we do this, I'm gonna start playing again. And I want to delve deep into it. I haven't run into the problem where you said you run out of energy real quick.
And I think in the first season, I feel like I could barely do anything.
Like what were you doing?
Just the normal stuff, like chopping wood, trying to clear out the farm, like watering, like because your tools are so like almost useless, you know. You just can't do anything. So
yeah, I think I'm on day 10 of spring, and I already have a bronze axe and a bronze watering cup. So having the bronze watering is really nice because you could do. I have 4 patches of 9 2 cucumbers, and 2 turnips, and doing that entire thing only lowers my energy by like 4 peaches.
Oh, nice.
So it's good. I haven't.
Yeah, maybe I didn't upgrade them fast enough.
I don't know. I just upgraded real quick.
Cool.
I'm trying to figure out a way to earn money really quick because I want to buy some chickens, and chickens are expensive. But first, I want to buy a upgraded backpack. Oh, what to choose? I
know, that's the thing. Well, I gotta say, like, pretty quickly, like it feels like it's very slow progress, and then at some point it's just an avalanche, and you'll have more money that you know what to do with. You know, it's like most Harvest Moon games. I would say selling wood is probably a good option because
that's what
wood
I've been doing.
Sells for a lot. Yeah.
Like the one thing I mean, it's cool that you could do this now, but one thing that I don't are kind of annoying is when you harvest wood and stone, that you have to pick it up. Before you didn't have to do that; it would just automatically go into your thing.
I mean, it gets like vacuumed into you. You just have to be nearby. You don't have to like go and pick it up.
Oh, I know. I meant it goes into your inventory. Before, it just goes into your storage set automatically.
Oh.
So you just hit it. You just keep harvesting, and you won't fill up. But now you fill up really quick. So that's one thing that annoys me. That's why I asked you. I was like, where do you put the lumber? There's no storage unit. Decomposing.
Yeah. It's cool though. I want to figure out how to get the marriage and do all the things. There's a villa too. It's like $1 million. I don't know if you saw that. GOTS can make this villa. There's like this empty plot next to the forge, and I don't know what that does, but that's like kind of an end game goal, I guess. Don't tell me what it does, but if you want to look it up,
I'm reading it right now. I was seeing if it's one of the requirements. It's not a requirement. Okay.
Yeah.
It says you have to trigger all the heart events. Did you miss one?
Maybe. I mean, is it too late? Do I have to go back? I mean,
no, you can still do it, I think.
I mean, I go into the house or go to the inn like every day. I go to the general store every day. I don't know.
Is she a red heart right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I must trigger trigger a heart event. What a good rule of thumb is that you must trigger the black heart event. That doesn't require much. Yeah. So what I noticed is triggering the black heart events is really easy. Before you had to do you have to be somewhere at the exact same time at a certain specific time at a certain specific place. But now I remember, which one was it? I think it was the nurse's one, Ellie. Mm-hmm. And you go in. I went in, and it did the black heart event for Ellie. And then I went out, and again went in, and it did the heart event for the doctor. And then I went in, and I went in again, and then it did the heart event for them. When they... I was like, you just did 3 events in like one turn. Just let me go to the nurse.
Huh. I don't know who her rival is.
Is the doctor, but I heard they got rid of the rivals. They won't get married now.
Huh. Interesting.
They cut out some stuff from the other ones. Like they had the rival events, but I don't think they go out with them.
Interesting. Oh, you know what? I'm looking it up. Whoa, the garage is opening. I'm looking at a couple things. I think I found a couple of the events that I missed. One of them is at the library, and then one of them is at I guess the library is the one I missed. That's it. So I have to go to the library.
All right.
There are rival events, but I guess you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, they won't steal your girl. There's 2 Blackheart events with Ellie.
Oh really?
Oh really? Oh really, Owl?
Oh really, Owl?
Wow. I can't believe that. I just remember that meme. Remember that meme was so prevalent.
Yeah.
All right. Have you been playing anything else?
It's not specifically a JRPG, but I think our audience would be very interested in. literally all I did yesterday was play Ghost of Tsushima, like all day.
So
it's really, really good.
Is it really good? You enjoy it a lot? I heard that it's like Assassin's Creed with better combat.
I mean, sure. The thing that it doesn't do that Assassin's Creed is really bad at is there aren't like a million waypoint markers everywhere. Everything is very natural. So what you do is you have to earn skills that will let you unlock the ability to make waypoints on certain areas, like fox dens or shrines or whatever. And so then as you explore the world, you'll see little question marks pop up on your map. And so then you put a waypoint on it. And then the wind just blows in that direction. And you have to follow the wind. There's no waypoint marker. It doesn't tell you how close or how far you are. You just have to follow the wind. And then if you get lost, every once in a while, this bright yellow bird will chirp and it'll start flying. And if you follow the bird, it'll also take you to locations. So everything is very like immersive in the world. And for anybody that has like an affinity for like feudal Japan, ancient Japan, like the architecture, the nature, it's just a gorgeous game. It's so much fun to just walk around. And I have a bias towards just pretty game world. So maybe that has something to do with it. But the combat is cool too, because it's like a less intensive like Sekiro or Souls or whatever. Like you can parry, you can dodge, you have these different stances, but you're not gonna like get wrecked if you're not in the right stance. It's like it's pretty forgiving. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really good. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. And then I love the customization too, because you have different outfits that are good for different things. Like you have your samurai gear, you have your like exploring gear, your archer gear. And the cool thing is it's not an RPG. Like you don't level up, you don't have like stats. You just have like your armor, like your samurai armor. You can take more hits, do more damage. Your exploring lets you uncover more of the map when you're walking around. Your archer gear lets you, shoot faster, stuff like that. So it's not like, oh, let me get the better samurai armor so I have 2+2 attack. It's not like that. So I feel like it's as close to an RPG as you can possibly get without being an RPG, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get it.
But I think I don't know. Are you into like open world games, really?
Not really.
Not really.
Like people are telling me, "Are you gonna get that game? Or you get that game?" Old me probably would have, but now I don't think I will. Like I would like to play, but I just don't have the time. I feel like I don't have the time. I'll play the games that the JRPGs or the Harvest Moons or the Dooms, but any other games, like I have to live through you, Taylor.
It's really good. So the other thing too is it's broken up into like 3 sections of this island, which I think are broken up into 3 acts. So I just beat Act 1, and now I'm going back and finishing all the side quests that I missed. It's just so good.
And it's not boring?
No, I mean, I think a lot of people are saying the main character is boring and the story is kind of boring, but it's very authentic to like honor-bound samurai and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know what people were expecting, but it's not. I don't find it boring.
They were expecting the samurai guy to be gay, trans woman. That's what they were expecting.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: it is an infinitely better game than Last of Us 2. The production value is not as high, like that's for sure. I mean, I think Naughty Dog's production value is almost unrivaled.
Yeah, you can't beat Naughty Dog's.
No, like you'll tell, like the facial animations just don't look as good. The environments don't look as crisp, but boy, is it just fun to just go off and explore and fight things and get better gear and make your guy look like a cool ninja, samurai, whatever you want. Yeah, this is it's one of PS4's best games for sure. And if you have any affinity for like feudal Japan, I would check it out.
Does it feel like Infamous? Like
it's way better than Infamous.
It's made by the same guys. So I was just saying, does it feel like it, like the movement and everything like that, the exploration?
Yeah, I mean, I just got a grappling hook, which helps move around a little bit faster. You ride around on a horse. You can climb. I mean, it's more like Uncharted than Infamous, because Infamous, you have like superpowers. You can like fly in that game pretty much. But in this game, it's much more grounded. But I mean, you've got moves. You can climb. You can dodge roll. You can do like one of those moves where like right when you hit the ground, you roll so you don't like break your legs, kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, it is everything and more than I was expecting. Like you know how you usually don't pay attention to things like, oh, I have no expectations and I'm going to go in and just enjoy it for what it is. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how it was for Ghost. I was watching the trailers, but I was like not paying attention to anything. And I watched the reviews, and the only criticism is people say the stealth is not great, which is, yeah, it's kind of true. The AI kind of breaks if you mess up.
Well, like
you
breaks like
them too much.
Is it the whole Naughty Dog Uncharted The Last of Us thing where you're bending down and they're like,
whoa. I mean, kind of. I mean, there were times where like I remember I was like stalking these two guys, and you know, sometimes you can tell when an enemy's on a path, they'll walk back and forth and back and forth, and it takes like 10, 20, 30 seconds for them to do it. But this one, it looked like they were just running in circles. I'm like, uh-oh, their AI path broke or something. Stuff like that. Yeah. But if I were to say, what are my top 5 games of the generation? I know this is probably not fair because I haven't finished it yet. But if I were to say top 5 games of the generation from PS4, I'd have to seriously consider putting it on there. It's really good.
Tokyo Xanadu is number 1, right?
Of course. Come on.
Yeah, of course. I skipped I skipped the dialogue of the final boss. Of course.
Who cares?
That was a funny stream.
I'm just turning it off. Come back the next day. Beat it in one try. Yep.
All right. So what I've been playing. So I finally just sat down and decided not to do anything else except play Zero no Kiseki, which is the first Crossbell game. And the game got dark really quick.
Really?
Yeah, it got really dark. Which is like the final 2 chapters. It got dark with cult stuff and child kidnapping and then all this stuff.
Jeez.
Sacrifices. And it was like, oh, okay. I get where I was going for because it ties in with this specific star door in Trails in the Sky 3. A lot of people will know what I'm talking about, which makes it's like the nice happy thing, and then suddenly it gets very dark in this one star door. This story that gets really dark for a specific character. So it's really cool to see her story branch out more, get to learn more about her. Estelle and Joshua are in this game.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Not really a spoiler. You see them in like the first chapter, but it's cool to see them. It's always cool to see characters from different games in the series, in the series that you're playing. Like not Crossbell, and Cold Steel 4, everyone's in there. Like everyone.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's crazy.
So it's nice to see. It's nice to finally learn about these characters that I, don't know anything about because it's not translated. Well, now it is fan translated, but it wasn't released overseas, which sucks because I think these are. Oh my god, they're so good. These games are so good. Definitely not a Taylor game.
Why do you say that?
Because you're a police officer, and you're like a police officer that's like a brace. That's the idea was you're in a special support section, which and it's like a unit that is kind of like a bracer.
Yeah.
So that means that you do quests like, please help me find all these overdue library books.
God, kill me. Why is the police helping somebody find an overdue library book?
Because you're helping out the citizenry. That's why. That's what that unit's made for. And so there's a lot of side quests like that. And I know that's why you don't like doing side quests like that. So
terrible.
But the game, the characters are great. I love the story is good. Has one of the best waifus.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, what's her name? what's her name? The white hair girl,
White-haired girl, Ellie. I don't
Ellie
know,
McDowell.
Is he? Is she?
Oh, you're talking about Rixia, I think, right?
It's when you first meet Rixia, actually.
Hmm.
But yeah, I can't wait to see that. Like, I know that they're started to do the fan translation for the next one, Azure.
Hmm.
So I can't wait to play that. But this game really made me want to replay Cold Steel 3 and go back to the Crossbell chapter and see all the nods and winks. Because I know the first part of the story now, and I know these characters. So I know Crossbell now. So I was like, okay, I want to see what all this is about. Yeah, that's what I was playing.
Let me ask you this: Do you think they're actually gonna officially release those games ever, or do you think it's just too late and they're just gonna move on?
I really hope they do. Like, I really hope they do. I know that the fan translation is just a patch, and they're not giving away the game for free. So you have to actually buy the game and get a copy of it yourself, and then you have to patch it yourself.
Sure.
But so what I could see happening is maybe Xseed. It's not Xseed anymore. It's Nisa, right? Nipponichi.
Mm-hmm.
Nipponichi talks to these guys. It's like, hey, we'll give you credit and we'll pay for your translation, and then they can release it that way. That'd be cool. Because they added all the stuff. They added the turbo booster and all that. So there's turbo in the game, and it just feels like a official released game.
I wonder if by the time, if they ever do actually do an official release, I wonder if anybody that was going to buy the game has already bought it with the fan thing. Because it seems like, I mean, you hear about fan translations a lot. This feels like one of the more like official more high quality fan translations that I've ever seen. Because they had like a trailer and everything. And like you said, they added turbo mode. So do you think when it officially comes out, are people even going to buy it? Because if, like, for you already bought it and have the translation, like, you wouldn't rebuy it, would you?
I don't know. If it's on like a PS4, maybe it'd be cool to play on the PS4 or the PS5 now, and just to support them. Because right now I'm not supporting Nipponichi. I'm supporting Xseed directly, or not Xseed, Falcom directly. So if they release it themselves, I'm like, hey, here, you released it, you did a good job, or you did a good thing for the fandom. Of course, I would support them. Like, I bought Cold Steel like 3 times, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I could see them. I could see them releasing it after Cold Steel 4, maybe one before, because you definitely can play Cold Steel, the series, and then go back and play the other ones. Because I played Cold Steel 1 and 2 first, and then I went to did Sky 1 through 3, and I was having fun because I was like, oh, so that's what that's from, or oh, now I get what happened in this part. So that was cool. So I could see the same thing happening with Crossbell. Like you play Cold Steel, then you play Crossbell, and you're like, oh, so that's what makes sense for this. Oh, that's where this character came from. That's what Tio is from. That's what Randy's from. I get that now. So,
gotcha.
Because there's going to be a lot of characters in Cold Steel 4 that are going to be like, who the hell is this?
Yeah, right.
It's like playing Project Cross Zone and seeing characters from Valkyria Chronicles 3, and you're like, I don't know who these characters are.
Yeah, or like the first couple of Soccer Wars games. They're like, I know you're from Soccer Wars, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Do you think
that's my hope, is that they do if they localize all the old Soccer Wars games. That would be cool.
I hope they localize a Tales of Destiny HD remix, you know?
Yeah, I think you need to give up on that dream. There's some dreams you need to just let die.
It sucks because I was reading about the translation. I was reading about the translation team who canceled their projects, all of them, for some reason.
Yeah.
They are so close to finishing the Tales of Destiny one. They were at like 99%. And they were just showing it off. They were literally doing streams showing it off, saying, "This is what this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this cutscene. Look at there's subtitles and everything now." And they showing it how it works. The menus are all translated, all the items are translated, and I was like, I can't wait to play it. And then on in February of 2016, they're like, canceled. We're not doing it anymore. You can't even download any of these patches. All our old patches gone. And then the reason it's like, oh, Tales is being popularized it's getting popular in the West now, and they're releasing a lot of the old stuff. So maybe we don't have to do this anymore. So I'm like, maybe Namco's like, hey, we're gonna release this in the future. So, but I don't know. It's been years now, and we still haven't gotten anything from them. Hey, Cristoria's came out, so maybe they finally announced a new, HD remix thing.
I think they're going to wait till I think Arise comes out, because I mean, as much as we want to talk about Custoria, it's a mobile game. It's like a separate thing. I think give it a year after Arise comes out, and maybe we can talk about it, because Berseria was 2017, 2018.
I don't know. It was a long time ago, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then the Vesperia HD version was not too far after the fact. So, yeah, I don't know. Not anytime soon, but I think there's still hope. And I'm glad they're taking their time with Arise, just because it's, yeah, I think it needed it. You got to make a great Tales game, and I feel like they haven't been great in a while.
Like groundbreaking.
Not even. I mean, kind of. I mean, I bought Berseria for like $4 or something. It was on sale, and I put like 5-6 hours in. I'm like, this just feels like a PS2 Tales game, and that's, for some, that's like the best. But for me, I'm like, this just feels old. Like the design feels old. Like, go to a town, you walk around a linear path, you fight a boss, you walk back, go to the next. It was just, yeah, didn't do it for me. Even though the combat.
It was like it does not feel anything like a PS2 Tales game, but I get what you mean.
Design wise, I mean, feel like the controls and how it looks, no, but design, like how they're structuring the world.
The design was classic JRPG style, where you go into an area and then you do the quest in that area, or you do the story moment in that area, then you go to the next moment area. Yeah, I get you. And that's what you get. That's what you get with Tales games, is you get a classic JRPG experience. It's not going to be open world, But
we'll see. I know Arise is not.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Arise is going to be the same exact thing.
Well, you got to keep up or get left behind.
Maybe they'll add social links. You don't know. Maybe social
events. Might as well. People love that stuff. It helps you connect with the characters more. So put it in everything. Why not?
High school setting. Do it now.
That's right.
All right, so let's do some questions.
Okay.
We had these questions. We answered some of these questions last week, but we weren't able to do it.
Silly recording
equipment. All right, so let's do some of them that we could do. From the Proletariat. If someone fell into a coma after playing Chrono Trigger in March 95 and woke up today, which JRPG would you tell them to play first and why?
That's a good question. I forget what I said last time.
I don't think we answered this one, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because my thought is, one, do you give them something absolutely mind-blowing, or do you give them something a little bit along the way? Or even really shock them and give them like Chrono Cross or something, because it's like a direct sequel.
And they were like, "This isn't like Chrono Trigger at all."
Yeah. Because if that was the last game they played, Chrono Trigger came out like 94, 95. So Final Fantasy VII wasn't out. I don't even really think the PlayStation had been out that long. And I could have the date wrong for Chrono Trigger.
You could totally culture shock them and then show them Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's like, play this. This is where we're at now. And they'd be like...
That would be kind of cool.
But then, I think you would ruin everything else. Go back, and you wouldn't be able to. So, I don't know.
That's a good question.
Like show them increments. Like this is the PS1 era. All right, this is the PS2 era, the beginning of the end. Here's the PS3 era, the end. Here's the PS4 era, the rebirth.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe. I'm thinking a PS1 game, like you said. I think that might be good, just because, like, oh my god, it's 3D, and like you introduce it to them slowly, or you could do something really silly, like something like Cosmic Star Heroine, where it's got like sprite graphics, and there's even homages to Chrono Trigger in that game. But yeah, I would say something from PS1, like 7 or Legend of Dragoon or Wild Arms, one of those early Grandia, one of those games.
You would have to do one of the classics, like what you just said, Final Fantasy 7, or I would pick Grandia, because Grandia has sprite base and has a good story and has great combat. It's time, like today, if you play Grandia, you wouldn't feel archaic. Like normally, I could feel the archaicness when I'm playing a game, but I could get past through it. Like you could definitely feel like you're like, oh, it feels old, like Tales games.
Yeah,
you feel it with Berseria. I mean, come on. It's it's like with Grandia. It's a PS1 game, but it feels timeless at the same time. It feels so good.
I mean, the combat system's good. I think what I like most about Grandia, and this is what I think JRPGs can do better than almost any game, is just the sense of going off on an adventure. Because that's literally Justin's whole thing. His dad was an adventurer, whatever that means. And he's like, all right, mom, bye. I'm like 12 or however old he is. And he's
13.
just leaving.
Yeah.
13. And he's got his little friend with him, and he meets people along the way. And what I think is really cool about Grandia too, that I don't know if I've really seen any JRPG do since, is you have characters come and go that don't stay with you the rest of the game. Like you'll be in this one town, you get this guy, and then he just leaves at some point, and then that's it.
That's a Grandia.
I love that.
That is a Grandia
cool
thing, yeah. It's it's sad when it does happen. You put like so much effort into this one character, and then it's like, bye. It's like, no, I wasted all that stuff. Because to get magic, you need to use mana eggs, and you have to find these mana eggs in the maps that you go to, and some maps don't even have them, so there's a limited amount of mana eggs. So if you waste it on certain characters, you're screwed. You lose it.
Oops.
But it's funny because what you say, because if you think about Grandia, you are a 13-year-old boy with a 7-year-old girl, right? Like an 8-year-old girl was like your best friend, and you're going into a ruin and fight orcs and like slimes, and they're able to fight them off. And you're like, okay, I mean, you're hitting them with a toy bat, but hey, I get it. It's fine.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. And it does that. It's kind of unbelievable, but at the same time, you get into it. You're like, yeah, this I can see this happening at the same time. But what I like about Grandia is how you see Justin grow throughout the game. Because at the beginning, he's just a kid. It's like, yeah, let's go on an adventure. I'm an adventure like my dad. Oh yeah, adventure. Yeah, let's go, Sue. But at the end, he's grown up. He's like, I gotta save the world, man. It's like, I gotta do this. You see him grow up. It's cool. It's cool to see. It's like Luke. Yeah. Luke at the beginning of Tales of the Abyss, which a lot of people need to get past this one part, whereas Luke being a complete bitch the entire time. Right. He's just so annoying. He's like, oh, you're so unlikable. And then you get to you get to the big part, and then he turns into he actually becomes a character. And you're like, oh, okay, I get this now. I get this. So that's like the only time I've really seen. I don't know. You guys, you tell me other JRPGs where you see the character grow like Luke or Justin. But I would pick Grandia first, and then it's like, hey, here's PS1, Grandia, play that. And then for PS2, skip those. That's not that good. PS3, it's fine. You know what? Just stick with PS1.
Yeah. Just go from PS1 to PS4. You're not missing much. Everything gets remastered anyway.
Yeah, PS4, you can play all the PS4 or all the PS2 remasters. That's fine.
And then all the PS1 games are getting remakes anyway, so it's fine.
Except for the PS4 remake of Final Fantasy VII, which isn't really a remake. It's a play on words. They're being meta.
They are. You know, I've been pondering that, and I remember on this podcast we were talking about it, and Shadow said, "I think there's only going to be one more part." And at first I was like, "You're crazy," but then I thought about it, and I was like, "I wonder if they only did it in Midgar to throw you as like a red herring, because like we said, it's called Final Fantasy VII Remake. I wonder if they used part 1 as just a setup to like change everything, and then the next one's like, yep, no, it's a full-on 80-hour game, whatever. It's got everything else. I wonder that all the time, but who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out in about when we're 40 years old.
That's right. Yep. As sad as that is to say, you're probably right.
I would say I feel like the next game is going to be I could see it being the rest of the game, the rest of the story, right?
Yeah.
So Max says it perfectly. He says that the game is going to be going on the same story beats as the original Final Fantasy VII. But getting there is going to be different. Like certain things are going to be different, but the story beats are going to be the same.
Yeah. Agreed. We're going to go to Calm. We're going to have the flashback. We're going to go to Junon Harbor. I got lambasted for saying it wrong. Yeah. You're right. I think we'll hit all the big story beats, but it'll just happen a little differently. Yeah.
And you got to think about it this way. Now they know now about the meteor, and they've already fought Sephiroth. They all know about Sephiroth and the meteor and everything. And at the end of Midgar, you've only seen glimpses of Sephiroth. I don't think you even met him yet.
What are you talking about? In the original game?
In the original one, yeah.
Oh yeah, in the original game.
Yeah, you see him. You see like him or like his presence, but you don't actually interact with him.
No, correct. Yeah.
So I would say only Tifa and Cloud know who Sephiroth is. Well, probably Aerith as well, but none of the other characters would know. But now everyone knows who he is.
Yep.
At this time. So it's interesting to see. What are they going to do? And people who don't like the story, just play it. They only heard about how weird the story is at the end. It's fine. It's cool to think about it. After you're done playing it, listen to the spoiler cast from Easy Allies with Maximilian. It'll blow your mind.
Oh yeah.
That was
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And I was like, listening to that, it was like, it was just so funny how deep Max got in that game. He researched so much about it. It was great. What were you going to say, Taylor?
No, I was going to say that I don't even know what I was going to say. I don't even remember.
It was about Easy Allies and the spoiler cast with Max.
Oh no, the ending. Yeah. So I think I came full circle. I remember I wanted this to be exactly like the original, and anytime it's deviated at all, I got super angry. But then after I watched that spoiler cast, I was like, oh, I'm like actually really excited now, because before you're like I think part of the frustration that people had was like, oh, the trading graveyard's taking too long because you know what's next, right? And I think now we don't know what's going to happen. I think that helps, that it's going forward. Yeah, we're going to have the story beats, but it's all unexpected. And I would prefer that in a weird way. I'm like, great, now they've established these characters. They're more fleshed out and they're more interesting than ever before. Now let's just see what happens. And I almost made a video about this, but I didn't. There is this moment in the game, I guess spoilers, maybe skip ahead a couple minutes if you still haven't beat it.
I'll mark it. Oh, okay. I marked it. Let's do it.
Okay. So there's this point when Aerith goes to rescue Marlene, and her and Marlene are talking, and Marlene hugs her. And then there's like that static thing, like when Cloud his mind gets all messed up.
Yeah.
And then Marlene kind of backs away, and she's like, and Aerith is like, shh. but you never find out what that is in the game ever.
And so
it's
spoiler,
like, what is that? Well, I mean, a lot of people are thinking Aerith is some sort of like time traveler or timeline traveler, or she came back from the life stream. Because like, what could that possibly be? I'm just so curious. And then I think the thing that really made me want to make a video about it is the voice actress has been live streaming herself playing the game. And she gets to that point in the game, and then she just kind of looks at the camera and like she doesn't say anything, but she's like, "Oh, I know what's happening." Like she knows. So I'm very curious to see.
You know what since she does that, if that's really what she's meaning, if she knows what's happening, they are probably already recording lines for the second game.
That's a good point.
So maybe the second game is further along than we think.
I mean, they said that they had work has already begun or whatever, but then they came back and said something like, "We haven't even started writing the scenario." I mean, it's impossible to know what's happening with this game, so just have to be patient, I guess.
One thing I love about this game is the music and the production value.
Oh,
and
oh my god,
it's so good.
Yeah,
I was listening to the soundtrack today when I was working, and I was like, "Oh God, it's so good." Like I get goosebumps all the time listening to this. Like I'm not even nostalgic for Final Fantasy VII. I'm not. I played it once, and the only reason that it's nostalgic for me as a kid is because I was watching you guys play it. I never played it. You were the ones who always played it. The only thing I played was the demo disc when you had Tifa and the bombing run and had Neo Bahamut.
That's funny. Yeah, it's the music, like it's particularly Aerith's theme, that hits me hard every time. Like it's so good, especially the piano version. Oh my god,
the credits theme. It's like
not the credits theme. Well, that one's pretty good.
No, because the credits theme is like the original Aerith theme. Like it actually is. Like if you listen to after the whole like original song thing, it plays Aerith's theme, and it just sounds like the theme. When you hear it, you just think about the scene where it first plays in the first game. And you're just like, oh, it's so good. Because because you know where it plays. And you're like, I can't wait for that battle, right?
Yep.
I know we went on a little tangent on Final Fantasy VII. I want to say one thing here, though. Like,
what was the question even?
Oh, no, we talked about if someone fell into a coma, Chrono Trigger. We've already answered that. But here's a news alert. Breaking news. Newsflash. Here's a bulletin. Connor does not like the remake.
I know. I was really surprised. I had texted him when the game first came out, and he was like, "I don't like the action combat." I was really shocked that was his hang up.
Yeah.
And not the story, it was the combat.
He said when I went over to his house a while back, he was like, I think the last part I got was fighting Rouge, and I was like, what is this? I'm done. I was like, we need to like explain to him. You've got to get past it. It's like, oh, I want to see if he has any hangups about the combat. Maybe he doesn't get all the systems or anything. Because I get it, the action combat's kind of weird at first, but once you get used to it and get how it works, then it gets fun.
It's great. Yeah, I like it a lot.
But I just really want him to play it for the story. I want him to play because he was one of the guys who was super into Final Fantasy VII, and for him to see the story in like this high fidelity as it is, I felt bad. I was like, oh man, I want to talk about this game with him.
I know. I was really bummed to hear that he was not a big fan, but hey, not for everybody. It's definitely divisive.
Okay. From Will Kreplin, do you ever find that completionist tendencies or trophy achievement hunting disrupts your enjoyment of games? If so, how do you compensate for that?
No. I think it used to be. I think there were some games where I like going and I'm like, I'm getting the platinum. And then I would try to play the game
with that mindset.
Now I'm like, let me play the game, see if I enjoy it. and if I really enjoy it after I finish it, I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna go back and get the platinum. And I haven't got a platinum trophy since Final Fantasy 15, I think, was the last platinum I got before Sakura Wars. But I enjoyed Sakura Wars so much that I went back and I'm like, I don't know, I don't care what I have to do. I know there's going to be some really annoying trophies, and there definitely were. I just enjoy it so much that I want to do everything there is to do. So I would say no, because I only do it when I really love a game. And I'm getting that feeling with Ghost of Tsushima because everything in that game is fun. Like, there is not a boring side activity. So I could see myself getting the platinum in that as well. But I just don't go after platinums all that often. So I know you used to do it a lot, but you don't really do that anymore, huh?
I think the last platinum that I really went after was Dead Space. That came out. That came out in 2008, by the way.
That's a super hard platinum too, if I remember.
No, Dead Space 1 was really easy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess it's easy. I think one of the trophies was play the game just using the plasma cutter, which is the first gun that you get. And I do that. I do that all the time. Like, that's the way I play the game. And because that's a really good gun. But yeah, I guess that would be hard for some people. And I think playing it on Impossible was one of them as well. But it was actually really easy. It was like what was a game where you just played it and you just got the platinum just from playing it?
Oh, like Walking Dead, something like that. Like any of the Telltale games, you just beat it.
It felt like that. It only required like 2 playthroughs. It wasn't much. But I love Dead Space. Dead Space 1 is amazing. But I don't care about trophies at all. There you go. My camera was unfocused. Yeah, I don't care about like nothing. When I look at when I play a game, trophies are not even on my mind. I just play it. And even after I finish it, I don't really care. It's just like, it's nothing. It's code in a game. I don't care about it. I'll play it. I'll play the game what I like as much as I want, and then I'll be done.
You know what I wish Sony would do, and I don't think this would take much from them. I think it would be cool, and they did this before. I don't know why they stopped doing this, but I think it'd be cool as if they would reward you for getting the platinum, even if it was something as simple as like a custom dashboard theme or avatars or something. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I think it'd be cool to have some kind of like actual reward for doing it, as opposed to just, hey, I did it. You know, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think they will be able to do that. I think they have to put it up for the devs. Like, hey, devs, if you want to do that, do it. And I bet you none of the devs are like, I don't care. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, because I listened to Sacred Symbols, which is Colin Moriarty's PlayStation podcast, and he gets so mad at. There's some games that just don't even put platinum trophies in their games, which is kind of surprising. I guess it's a lot of indie devs or companies that just don't think about it, I guess. But
I know that a lot of indie games don't have platinum trophies because they're indie games, like downloadable games. I remember a lot of, like, I think all downloadable games back in the day didn't have platinum trophies.
They didn't, but then like there's been these like insanely easy games. Like, you remember that game I Am Mayo, where literally all you do is tap a mayo jar and you get a platinum. So like there's the rules for how you don't get platinum trophies is really strange. So I don't know what the rules are.
I Am Mayo gave you a platinum. It was just made to get you a platinum trophy.
Basically, yeah, pretty much.
That is genius.
Yep.
Okay, I remember this from Wii Chef. Best JRPG title screen. You remember this one?
I mean, I think we all universally agreed that it's probably Persona 5, right?
Yeah, we said Persona 5 Royal, the Royal version.
Which I still need to play. I still haven't played it yet. Which is, I think, shocking to a lot of people, but
well, Maddie was a huge Persona 5 fan, right?
Yeah,
like huge. You've seen her room.
I mean, it's all Persona 5 stuff. Yeah,
hasn't played it yet.
Literally ceiling to floor to ceiling.
Yeah, hasn't played it yet.
I mean, all she does is play WoW and Monster Hunter, though, right?
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. She needs to get into it. Like, that game is great. Like, I get why you haven't played it, because you're busy and you're playing other games, but isn't Ghost of Tsushima like the last thing really on the list for now?
Yeah, I mean, fall is a bunch of it's like small games or games that like we don't know if they have release dates. Like going forward, there really isn't a lot that I want to play. The only game that I really have my eye on for the rest of the year is Bravely Default 2, and that's pretty much it.
I think that
I mean, there's
that
other small games like remember that game Sakuna of Rice and Ruin? Remember that?
yeah.
I really want to play that. But it's yeah, all the big games. There's no big JRPGs. I mean, I'm not going to play Cold Steel 4. I know that's coming out, but really,
Are you gonna get a review code though?
no. In fact, I put out my top 10 JRPGs video, and I've gotten so many people asking why I don't have Trails of Cold Steel on there that I think in the same way that you often talk about why you don't like Tales of Symphonia, I need to make a video about why I don't like Trails of Cold Steel. Like, play it, get some footage, compare it, like, do it right, because so many people are asking. And I'm like, you know what? I just need to make this video because too many people are asking about it.
That's funny. See, you actually don't like playing Trails of Cold Steel. I played Tales of Symphonia, and it was all right. It just I don't like it because of the fans that ruined it for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the combat's good. That's it though. Yeah, that's the only thing I like.
Yeah, if you make this video, Taylor, I am going to laugh at the comments ripping you to shreds.
That's okay. I don't care.
I know. It's just. I could totally see. It's like, you know how we like poke fun of like how do you not like how you like this game, you don't like this game, right? Yeah. I could see like random YouTubers saying that to you, and I'm like, no, Taylor, don't do it. No.
That's okay, because there's games that I like that people don't like. You know, like I think when I put Tokyo Xanadu at number 10 on my list, I think that really surprised a lot of people. A lot of people had never even heard of that game. So, you know, there's games that I like that people don't like, and there's games I don't like that people like. And then there's games that people like. Xenoblade, I'm like right in the middle. Like, people think it's a masterpiece. I'm like, it's a good game, but it's not a masterpiece to me.
Yeah, I get that sentiment.
I think it's fun. We agree on anything like that closely. We're like, it's a good game, but I don't really get why people are like drooling over it.
It's the girls. That's why.
The visuals aren't that good though. So to me, it's like I can't even.
That's funny you saying that with the definitive edition, and people are talking about like the Wii version, and the girls are one of the main things.
You know what I feel like? I feel like the new model, they look better than the Wii, but they almost look like really good like PS2 models. I feel like they're still not great. Like the animations are pretty stiff. There's not a lot of detail
because it's a Wii game.
Yeah. So now we're gonna get shredded because we don't like Xenoblade.
It's all right. It's a good. It's an all right game. It's fun to play. All right, here we go. Here's an Abram question.
Oh boy.
So I've been playing FF7 on my PS4, and I started getting dizzy just sitting down, and wanted to flop on my beanie chair. Then I remember Nick raving about remote play with the Vita. Now I see why you like this feature. It just makes playing JRPGs more wholesome. Kind of how reading an actual physical book than a digital copy really enhances the experience. I do get the same book vibe by playing JRPGs on a handheld, and it usually holds my attention longer than if I was playing. Than I was playing on a console or PC. So do any of you guys prefer playing JRPGs on a handheld instead of having them on a PC or console?
Depends on the JRPG, as weird as that is. If it has like a big world to explore, I want to see it in all its beauty on a big screen. But I totally hear what Abe's saying, because there was a game that I played called it's like either AI or the Somnium Files. And it's like a visual novel, like murder mystery kind of game. And it was so fun. Like right before I went to bed, I would play like a couple chapters. It was like reading a book before going to bed every night. And it was perfect. And I wanted to play it on my Switch like that. I was like, I'm never playing it on the TV. Are you kidding me? That is not the way you play that game. And same thing with Story of Seasons. It's so much fun to just sit in bed and play a couple nights or a week.
That's why I loved playing it on my Game Boy Advance. When I had my Game Boy Advance, I had an SP, or I had my brother's SP, and I played at night, just playing a couple days, and then I would stay up late because I was like, just one more day, Just one more day. Just one more
Exactly.
day.
Exactly.
But then the Vita came out, and Back to
Mm.
Nature was a PS1 classic.
Oof.
Oof.
Got dangerous.
Yeah, it got really dangerous there. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Taylor. I think certain games are just are like perfect for just being on handheld mode. But the opposite is also true. Some games you have to play on like a screen or on the TV. Like my consoles are all set up here, right? What I miss having a nice comfy chair, a nice comfy couch, and a big screen TV, and playing my console games on that. I definitely miss that. And there's something wholesome and comfy about playing a JRPG on a chair. One thing I don't get how we used to do this is playing our JRPGs while sitting on the ground and looking up at the TV. How did we do that? How did we do that?
That's a good point. I don't know.
I mean, that's how people used to play games because the cords for the controller were like this long, and you just play and you're like, and we used to play on TV sizes that are like this big.
Oh, dude, yeah,
tiny, like 12-inch, 14-inch TVs, and we licked it. But yeah, Abe, I do get the sentiment of handheld games. One trend that's really kind of bugging me now, it's for me personally, is I've been playing handheld games and it's hard for me to stay focused. That's what I noticed now. It's hard for me to stay focused on the game when I'm playing handheld game. If it's on the handheld, I want to break that. I don't know what's causing that, but that's why I haven't been playing Xenoblade or Harvest Moon as much, is because it's on a handheld and I can't focus on it, and I want to get that focus back. I think it's because of work, and whenever I'm home from work, I'm just tired. So playing on a handheld, I'm just nodding off and on, you know.
That's fair. I mean, that's understandable.
So I need a new job. No, I can't lose that job. That's a really good job for what I do. Okay, Spaghetti. Who do you think will crack first for the next gen console prices? I don't even think, like, to answer that question, I don't even think it matters now. The Xbox Series X is just whatever. It's a third party console. It doesn't matter anymore. All you have to do is go with the Switch and the PS5. If you have a gaming PC, there is no reason to get an Xbox Series X at all. Like, I remember Taylor tweeting out something saying that the Xbox has no first party exclusives for like the next 3 years or something. They don't have any in the. It's like, well, there's no reason to have it. Especially since I have a PC. It's like,
yep. Yeah, I mean, to answer the question, I think Microsoft will go first just because Sony seems to be so willing to just sit and wait and wait and wait and wait. And Microsoft has an event coming up this week, I think. And it wouldn't surprise me if they announced the release date and price at that thing. Because last generation, we knew the release date and price by June, and we're in the middle of July right now. So we're about a month past when we normally would find this information out.
Man, that was a crazy E3. That was so fun. That was a fun E3.
Pretty wild.
And then the next one is even better.
Look. Yeah, where they had 7 Remake and Shenmue 3 and Last Guardian. Yeah, it was nuts. It was pretty nuts.
The golden era of PS. The second golden era. What happened to you, Sony? You were so awesome at the beginning, and now you're like soiny.
Well,
get it.
Well, all those guys left. None of them are Adam Boys, Andrew Ryan, not Andrew Ryan, Andrew, I forget his name, the British guy, Jack. Man, I can't remember any of these guys' names. Jack. What the
Trenton, Jack Trenton.
Thank you. I kept wanting to say Jack Dent. I'm like, that's not right.
And Kevin Butler, man, I miss him.
Oh, Kevin Butler. Yeah.
You guys remember those? Guys, look up the Kevin Butler PS3 commercials. They were great.
Yeah, those were super good.
And how they
actually brought him out. Yeah, that was fun.
That was awesome. Good times. I do miss. I mean, I remember in the PS3 era, I was kind of a fanboy at the beginning, and I kind of got out of that because I was like, "This is stupid. There's no reason to be a fanboy." And I got into console war stuff. And then I just remember that era being super nostalgic, and I loved watching E3 and seeing all the stuff for like Little Big Planet, Killzone, PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, freaking Warhawk. I put in Warhawk the other day. Just to hear the menu theme and just I remember playing just remember playing it, and I was like, oh, they need to bring this back for PS5. That game was great. That game was just multiplayer bliss, and everyone was playing their Halos.
Did you ever try Starhawk?
I did. It wasn't as good as Warhawk. I don't know what it was. It was cool because the Hawks were able to turn into mechs, and everything with mechs is 100 times better, right? So yeah. I had that, and it also had this like base building aspect where you could build walls and buildings and turrets. And yeah, I don't know what was wrong with it that made it not as popular as Warhawk. Because Starhawk came out and then everyone went back to Warhawk. No idea.
Weird.
Yeah. Do you remember when they first showed up Warhawk?
Oh geez, yeah. That was
that was in the game, but it wasn't even useful. They just made it a multiplayer only game. I think that was one of the first multiplayer only games ever made. Like on the console, I should say. I'm pretty sure there's multiplayer only games on the PC all the time. It's on the console. And I remember buying it. I don't know how I got this money, but I remember buying games in high school. Have you ever thought about that? How you got these games? Like, I think back, I'm like, how did I buy all these games when I didn't have a job? And I didn't have anything. I'm so confused of where I got the money. But yeah, it came with a Bluetooth headset, the Warhawk thing.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. And that's how you started talking online, because the PlayStation 3 didn't have the built-in mic like the Xbox 360 had. Good times.
Yes. Different era.
I remember buying the PS3. It was a day after Christmas, or like 2 days after Christmas. We went to Best Buy because I heard that they're getting PS3s in stock, and remember how there are always shortages. And that Christmas, I got like $600 worth of like cash and Best Buy gift cards, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the 20 gigabyte version, and
20.
That was like that was like the $400 version, I think. And I was like, I'm not gonna buy any games. It's fine. And I went there, and they're like, oh, we only have 60 gigs versions. So I was like, oh, well. So I started walking away, and my dad's like, where are you going? And I'm like, oh, they only have 60 gig versions, and I don't have enough money for that. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And then he bought me the 60 gig version and Resistance. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Thank you, Dad. It was like a double Christmas. I got a Resistance and a 60 gig PS3.
I'll never forget the first PS3 game I saw you play was Folklore. Remember Folklore?
Yeah. It was on an SDTV, and I was like, pull the soul out of this thing.
That was a cool little game. A shame it didn't.
I remember it looked amazing back then. Like it was super colorful. In my eyes, it looked like one of the games that we're seeing now. Just like how beautiful it is with all the colors. I bet you it looks nothing like that.
Probably not. I agree. I mean, I remember just being blown away at the graphics, like that purpley reddish forest or whatever.
Yeah.
The fairy forest or whatever it was. Yeah.
And you're really like, JRPGs are going to be so awesome this generation, aren't they?
Oops. Worst generation ever.
We never got that. All right. Maximilian Wonder, what's your favorite soundtrack? Oh, welcome back, by the way. What's your favorite soundtrack that stands apart somehow from others? Also, are there any standout songs within it? Careful with surprisey, spoilery ones. I'm in the middle of specially organizing the master recording of my favorite album and soundtrack, so I'm curious. You know what? This question alone, I think, deserves a video.
Really?
Like a special short episode of us talking about this.
About our favorite soundtracks?
Yeah, and just get like create a list for him.
Interesting.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun. Thank you. That's that's a good idea. We should do that. And then you should post one part on freaking your channel and one part on LSG. There you go.
There you
Actually, I can't really think of anything from the older generation, but one soundtrack, since I just listened to it, one soundtrack that has blown me away. You know what I'm gonna go with this, and it just came out. No, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I bought the 7-disc special edition. You know?
Oh, really? Oh my god!
I have it. Yeah, and I've listened to it. I've listened to it, and the songs are amazing. There's so many good songs on that. Okay, so 7 Seconds Till the End is one of the greatest songs ever, and that is a spoiler song. So I'm not going to tell you where it's played, but it's at the end, Taylor. Like it's the one before. It's the end. It's the scene where it spoofs the ending of the final battle in the original. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That song. It was like, the song where we're in the dungeon where the Aerith scene happens. Do 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 do.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That remake in this remake in this song. The remake in this soundtrack of that song. It's amazing.
Amazing.
So, yes, 7 Seconds Till the End. Getaway. It's just called Getaway, which is it's the song that plays after the alarm goes off for the first Mako reactor.
Yeah.
It's like a super fast remix of Bombing Run. It's awesome.
Nice.
And then there's also the really mellow ones, which I forgot the name of it. You tell me yours when I look this up.
So what was the question again? Like an underrated soundtrack?
No, just a specific soundtrack that you would recommend. Favorite soundtrack that stands apart somehow from any of the others. Are there any standout songs from it? Careful with spoilery stuff.
You know what game has a really good soundtrack that I don't see enough people talking about is Gravity Rush. It's not a JRPG, but I think that has a really good soundtrack. Like the main theme, the combat theme, some of the like this like walking around the city type songs. That's a really good one. I guess I just listed off a couple, and two has a few good songs. Oh god, let me look up. Yeah,
so
can't talk.
You're looking at it too.
Yeah, Gravity Rush 2 OST.
One of the things. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was just listening to this today. The main theme from Wind Waker. It's so good.
Oh yeah, Wind Waker is great.
Yeah, you got to listen to this. Just the main theme. It's just great to listen to because it has the main, like the Zelda main theme built into it, but it sounds completely original.
Yep.
What is this?
Okay, so the song I was thinking of, so this is from Gravity Rush 2. It's called Lei Kolmosna. So it's LeiColmosna Marketplace. So Lei Kolmosna Marketplace. It's like very cheerful, very fun, very upbeat. Oh, it's so good.
It's this. Okay, I found the name for the Final Fantasy VII. Another one is a Midnight Rendezvous, and it's completely random. Like it plays just when you're walking on one of the highways, and it's this one. It's this one. Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear you.
Yeah, because RTX is on. Let me turn it on. Let me turn it off. All right. Oh my god. There you go. Now you should be able to hear everything. This one. You remember?
Oh yeah, they really remixed this song. Yeah.
And I was like, it's so calming. Why is it playing on like a random highway?
now I want to replay 7 Remake.
Yeah, I was listening to this. I'm like, I want to play on hard mode. Okay, I might die a little bit because I need to remove the background noise. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. Yeah, see, this is why we need to do a video on this because this is a great topic. Because whenever we get these questions, we always say Chrono Cross.
Well, that's not like on a whole, it's Chrono Cross. I mean,
all right. So let's find it. Okay. So we usually say the Chrono Cross soundtrack, right? So
yeah.
let's pick a song from that soundtrack for him.
Another Termina. That's my favorite.
Another Termina, of course.
Arnie Village is another great one.
Arnie Village. Where are you? Arnie Village. Home. Okay, I like Voyage. I think it's Homeworld. Let me see. You won't hear it. Yeah, Voyage Homeworld. I'm not gonna play it because you won't be able to hear it, but I'm listening to it right now. You can't hear it, can you?
No. Magic of RTX.
It's playing really loud on my phone. That's cool. But yeah, great question. I want to answer more of it, but we're gonna move on.
Cool.
Okay, you like this one, Taylor. Where are you? There you are. From Will Kreplin, what is the best combat system Square Enix has ever had, and why is it the Gambit system from FF12?
12 is good, but I don't think it's the best combat. Honestly, it might be 7 Remake, I think.
Controversial.
I know. Well, I think Square had been building up to that, for a long time with 13 and the stagger system. Like I think they were trying to do something with that, and even in 15 to a lesser extent with the the action combat. But I think they just nailed it in 7 Remake. And what I like most about it is you're forced to use your entire party. You can't just slash away with Cloud because there's certain enemies that are only going to get weakened by other people in your party. So you really got to mix it up, which is really cool.
And you got to have every element in that game. Like every character has to have, you have to have all elements throughout all your characters. Because the certain enemies, to stagger them, you need a certain element.
Yep. Agreed.
That's a good battle system. Final Fantasy Tactics, of course. That's Square Enix. Oh wait, are we going SquareSoft, or are we only doing Square Enix?
Oh come on, we know what he means. I think Tactics is probably number 2 if I had to pick.
Even though you could break that game.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes it fun. I think people complain like it's a bad thing. I think that's what makes it good is when you can mess with it, and I think that's what makes games like Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default good is because you can totally mess with the combat system, and that's what makes it fun. I think.
I'm trying to think of other classic Squaresoft games on the PS1 era that's not Final Fantasy, but for some reason nothing's coming to mind other than Chrono Cross, but Chrono Cross isn't that good of a battle system.
No, I don't really like it. No. I'm trying to think of older non-Final Fantasy. Dragon Quest is so basic, even 11. I don't think that combat system is particularly good. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't play many Final Fantasy games, so I don't know.
How dare you?
I wouldn't say Final Fantasy 15 is what, or Final Fantasy 7 Remake is what Final Fantasy 15 should have been. You get what I mean? In kind of combat, yeah. That's what it should have been. Because I remember my main complaint is magic's not even a thing in this game. You just have fire, lightning, and blizzard. How awful. And imagine them having all the magic like in Final Fantasy 7, right?
Yep, they have it all.
They did it right.
Good. Godlike.
Wow, that's old. Okay, let's do the last one, a little for a silly one. For Josiah Otaku, if a full-size JRPG theme park was being developed, what are 5 rides or attraction you would want to experience? To start you off, I would suggest a gold saucer section of the park.
Oh, of course. I mean, that was going to be my first thing. Have an entire part of it just be the gold saucer, which includes a lot of attractions in and of itself.
Yep.
That's a good question. I'm trying to think of like water things because you know me, I love watery, ocean, beachy type stuff. So I'm trying to think of.
Okay, so I have one. All right.
Okay.
This is gonna be a little deep dive for Kingdom Hearts fans. So it's gonna be dropping. You know, in Dream Drop Distance, when you drop into an area, you do the flying through the world. You're flying through to the world, and you have to grab hearts and stuff. So you are freaking. I don't know how they're gonna do this. Maybe virtual reality. You have virtual reality, and you have like freaking like hand gloves or something. And you're in like one of those fan rooms. You know those fan rooms where you're like you sit in it and you're like flying, you're hovering in the fan.
Oh yeah.
So you're in one of those, and with the VR headsets, you're trying to freaking grab all the stars without getting hit with things. I don't know, that'd be fun.
That would be cool.
It's Dream Drop Distance. It's Kingdom Hearts.
Yep. Let me think here. What are some other good ones or other?
Oh, here's another one. I got one.
Okay.
There has to be a ghost ship.
Of course.
That's it. Just a ghost ship. And maybe like every like month it changes theme to a different JRPG ghost ship.
I like that. Because there's a lot of different JRPGs out there.
Yeah.
Or a lot of ghost ships out there. I've been slowly working on like a top 10 JRPG tropes video. And one of them was the ghost ship. And there are so many ghost ships.
Yep.
And JRPGs. Everyone's like, oh, it's just Legendary Dragoon and Ni no Kuni and Dragon Quest XI and Chrono Cross and Ys. Wait a minute. And Trials of Mana. God damn it. They're everywhere.
Yep, they're everywhere. It's an awesome trope.
Yep. Sure is.
There has to be a Shibuya station just filled with people.
Just people walking around.
I don't know why. It's just playing one of the PS Persona 5 Shibuya themes.
Gotta have a coffee shop that's LeBlanc that you can eat at.
That'll be in the Shibuya station, even though that doesn't make any sense. But it'll be there.
I'm trying to think. Oh God, I'm trying to think of like really cool locations that would work as like attractions. I can't think. I mean, I could list towns that I want to go to, but that's not really the same thing.
You have to be kind of creative with it, like over the top.
Yep.
There's gonna be a it's a thrill ride. It's like a motor. It's a motorcycle track, and it's you going down the highway trying to escape Shinra. And then at the end, you fight. I forgot what the boss is. What's the boss at the end of the motorcycle ride?
I don't even know what his name is, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's like that at the end, you're like moving forward, dodging things. It's going all crazy, and then you just fly past.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. It doesn't even have to be you're on a motorcycle. You could be on a cart. You know, you're on a motorcycle, quote unquote, but you're just on like a little cart.
There you go.
There's a ride. That's 3. I thought of 3, Taylor.
I'm terrible. I'm the worst.
How about you name like lands? What kind of lands would there be?
What kind of lands would there be?
Like, I bet you would want to be like a Chrono Cross land with one of the island town or one of the coastal towns, and then a bunch of like water attractions at that park.
You know what we need? I mean, I think this would probably go in the gold saucer part, but we need a chocobo ranch, just like a place where you can go ride chocobos. That'd be fun.
Fake chocobos?
Sure.
No, we genetically make chocobos for this attraction.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know.
Taylor's blanking.
I mean, there's like I said, there's good locations, but there's nothing that works as like a theme park ride. You know what I mean?
You just have to.
I-
You think out of the box.
I'm not a very good out of the box thinker. I don't know. Maybe there's an Atelier land and you can make things with alchemy. I don't know.
But yeah, that gets super bright and cutesy.
Yes, exactly. It's just a bunch of cute girls running around in frilly dresses.
That's what the park attendants are all dressed as.
That's right. Yep.
But what would be there? The shop would be there'd be an alchemy shop.
Yeah, you can buy potions.
Just like drinks.
Yep. Be like the restaurant, I guess. Maybe Paper Mario, I guess, is technically a JRPG, so maybe Paper Mario Land would be kind of cool. Everything's made of like paper mache, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm blanking. This is not a good one for me. I appreciate the spirit of the question, but I'm not coming up with anything good here.
He's creatively dry.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be giant robots. Just random. There needs to be Valimar somewhere, just on the park.
Some Xenogears.
Yeah, some gears. Are they called gears? I forgot. Are they called gears in Xenogears? Oh man, it's been so long since I played it.
I think so, because Xenogears. Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
You could get your own blade from Xenoblade.
That'd be interesting. Your blade that would walk around with you.
Okay, realistically, I think one of the things they could do is you could grab one of the things, right, and like shakes and vibrates and stuff like that, and then what pops out is like a little hologram thing that you could buy, and it creates like your own blade, and then you could have like as a souvenir. It's gonna be an expensive souvenir because it's a freaking hologram. You could have that blade as like a trophy where they walk and talk, like they say stuff to you and stuff like that. You know how you get those waifu alarm clock things?
Waifu alarm clocks?
You ever seen those before?
No. Oh. Yeah, they're like super expensive, right?
Yeah.
They're like in the little glass container thing. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. Like you could you could do something and you could get a random blade, randomized for you. And you get one, you could get like that. You get the expensive version where it's a hologram like that, right? Or you get like a little waifu app thing for the thing on their phone, and your blade's on there.
Build a waifu. There you go.
Yeah, build a waifu. It's build a blade.
Build a waifu. There you go. Build a blade.
Build a blade. There you go.
Nailed it.
I thought of 4 attractions, Taylor.
Well, you're better at making theme park rides than me. All right. Next one. I give up.
You give up. I want to think of one more. Okay, here's a simple one. We could do the Grandia minecart ride where you're escaping the collapsing cave. So it's gonna be kind of like the Indiana Jones ride from Disneyland. So you're just riding in a minecart, and then you see like Justin Sue fighting the orcs. And then they beat them, and then suddenly the mine collapses, and you're like, "Oh, we gotta go!" And then you're like behind them, and you're trying to escape with them. And it's like a thrill ride. There you go.
I just thought of a good one.
There you go.
So this is a JRPG adjacent series, but imagine if there was like a Dynasty Warriors section where they have like these dummies everywhere, and they just give you a sword, and you're like, "There's 1,000 dummies. Just go hit as many as you can." You have 10 minutes. Hit as many as you can. That'd be fun. Wouldn't that be fun? Just here, take a weapon. Just try to knock as many down as you possibly can. I think that would be fun.
I could see that being fun. I could also see that being very dangerous, and I have no idea how they would be able to do that.
We're living in make-believe land. So
okay, see, I was trying to make it realistic, but make-believe land, that would be fun. All right. So that's the last question. That was fun. I had fun with these ones.
Good to get back on routine.
Yeah, hopefully we get back on the routine. Have another one next week. So yeah, we're gonna be trying to do weekly podcasts out now. Some episodes are gonna have shadows, some aren't. And yeah, so I'm happy that we're gonna be on a routine, on a schedule. So more of us. Aren't you happy? Will.
Kimpy.
No, not Kimpy. That's all.
I don't know. I'm just naming random people in the Discord.
But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll be back next week. See ya.
And bye.